Hello, everybody. It's me again. I'm back. I thought to make a topic about what does a woman and a man really want from each other. Um, well, really, a woman just wants to be loved. A woman wants to be loved. She wants to be taken care of, provided for. I'm not saying provided for like always in money wise, but just knowing that everything is going to be okay. That everything is going to be okay. In the scriptures, they do always mention the woman as being the weaker vessel, which we are. To be honest, we are. We're more emotional than a man. And we just have those weaker tendencies just to want to feel that love and want to know that we are loved, not just sexually, but also emotionally. We love that emotional affection, knowing that they love us. And when they show us, when a man shows a woman that he loves her, it's amazing how a woman, at least a good woman, is able to show that respect that a man wants. Because really, men want to be respected. They are more the macho, the macho one. Even some women could be macho, but if you put a macho woman up against a macho man, they're still the weaker vessel. We were just made that way. We just want to know that we're loved. I know men want to be loved too, but I think theirs is more just wanting the woman to understand them, to respect them. Not saying that they have to give in to everything that they say, but it's how we approach it, you know, and that they're cared for. Not just, I mean, I know in some cultures they feel like a woman is supposed to stay in the kitchen. That's not love, that's not affection, that's not any sort of respect in the manner. I mean, it is respect that you can care for your family by feeding them, but so can the man do that too. But how do you respect them? That's a hard question because every man is different too. Um, every man is different. Some are more macho than others, but all I know is when a man loves a woman is willing to respect her man all the way if she's a good woman. Because there are some women out there that makes me ashamed to be a woman. It, I mean, they just expect the man to do everything. They expect the man to provide for the home, just him. What do they do? You know, what does the woman have to do? Stay home and cook? Just give birth to children? There's a lot more to us than that. We can do so many things. We can multitask too. And if that man is willing to let us do our part, I guarantee you that things will be less stressful for the man, less stress, and I think that would make his life a little bit more um, stress free. Um, Realizing that a woman can go out and provide for the family too, not just the man to do everything, but why can't the woman do her part to help out? Why can't a woman go out and work and also provide for the house? So you know there's two incomes coming in. The woman can also multitask, be the woman of the house and be the woman that's working. But so can the man. Men can cook. It doesn't make them less of a man because they know how to cook, believe me. If a man knows how to cook, I guarantee you, your woman is going to love you so much more. Because knowing that if the man is able to cook and not have to wait for the woman to come home. So, what if the woman is working, okay, and she had a long day at work and he didn't have to work that day? And what is the man going to wait for the woman to come home to feed the kids? You know what I'm saying? When he's home all day with the kids. You know, that makes no sense to me. So sometimes you can't just wait for the woman. You have to provide for your kids. You have to cook for them. So now you know what it feels like to be in the kitchen. That it's not just the woman's job, but also a man can do that too. And in some cultures, I know that's kind of like taboo. A woman, you know, a woman not being in the kitchen but working, and then the man um cooking in the kitchen, they would probably look at him as a woman or like a sissy or something. But you know what? That makes him more of a man because he knows that he's not going to wait around for the woman to get home, that he's going to take care of his kids. He is going to feed them. He's not going to wait for the woman to come home to feed the kids. I mean, the woman could be at work for 10 hours. What are you going to wait for them for 10 hours? The kid's probably starving by then. What are you going to pay some cook or some nanny to come in and feed them? Why do you need to do that? It makes no sense. But that's what I'm saying. Everything, when you're able to teamwork, and be productive together, it makes your house a stronger home. It makes your family stronger. And it makes the two people much happier because all the stress isn't just on one person. They're both doing their part. So it's kind of um, lessening the baggage on the man, and the woman is taking it off to help him. So it shouldn't just be the man's responsibility to go out and work and provide. It should be the woman's too. You know, a woman should not have to rely on a man just to go out and work and then the woman just stay home and cook and bear children. There's a lot more to us than that. How are women supposed to keep moving on? And in many places, even here, like maybe in around the 60s, the 50s, even back further, women had to stay in the kitchen. They were considered breeders, staying in the kitchen, not realizing a woman could go out there and be so powerful, do so many things, and it helps, and it does help the man relieve some of his stress because he's not the only one going out providing, coming home after a long day of work, so tired and exhausted, and you barely even spent time with your kids. Do you think that's fair to the man? You know, honestly, here in the US, around, I'm not sure if it was like the 50s, 60s, somewhere around there. I think it was the 60s. I'm sure of it. Somewhere around that time, maybe even back, where women were fighting for women's rights. And they finally got their women's rights because women fought for it and men that believed in women, that they can be so much more than just a woman in the kitchen and bearing children, just to be a breeder. I mean, a long time ago, a man just wanted a woman. He goes, "Give me some children. You didn't bear me a male." How is that supposed to be happy marriage? You know, every woman eventually wants children. Yes, we do. Sadly, some women can't give birth to children, so they end up adopting children and providing care to them because they want that that motherly affection to give to some give love and provide love to someone like a little child that they can't have of their own, but they're willing to raise that child as their own. So, I mean, that takes a lot of courage, that takes a lot of love, especially if you really want to be a mom, you know. But in some countries still, women are still just in the kitchen and still expect the man to do everything. Like when it comes to providing and working, why can't the woman do it too? It's time to, stand up and say, hey, we're a lot more than just breeders and someone just staying in the kitchen and staying home. You know, why can't I use my intelligence, my wisdom, and my skills to bring in an income and to help you, to help the man provide for the house. Make it a team effort, not just but also communication. When you're able to communicate effectively without bad words, swearing, putting each other down, but effective communication with love, it's amazing how it does really bring a family together. It really does. It makes the family stronger. It makes the love stronger because you know that you're not the only one, you know, trying to, because you're like getting two imperfect human beings together. And especially if they're two different people, that means maybe they come from two different cultures. They come from two different cultural backgrounds. They have different ideas. They come in from two different countries, two different races of people, or sometimes they could be the same race, but come in and they could be from the same tribe or same, but they're still different. It's like putting two imperfect human beings and compromising your differences together and trying to realize that sometimes we have to accept that it's not just our way all the time. Sometimes we can let bygones be bygones and say, okay, we'll do this, to make the other person happy. And then the other person's willing to give in and say, okay, and then we can do this to make that other person happy. But it's just, it's like compromising your differences. Just because you love each other doesn't mean that you have to accept, you have to accept every um, thing that they say. That what I mean by that is, if you think differently, and the husband or girlfriend or wife or whoever um, is telling you something and you don't agree with it, well, just because you love them doesn't mean you have to agree with what they're saying, but you can say, hey, I'm sorry, but I'm not sure if I agree with that, but, you know, but maybe I'm willing to compromise this for this, or maybe, you know, you can give your idea and see maybe if that can work better, or you can at least give it a go and see if it does work for, what your mate says, or but if it doesn't work for you or you don't agree with it, you can say I love you, but I don't agree what you're saying, but I love you. I mean, or if you want a different idea, maybe I can institute one to you, and maybe it might be better. It could be better, but maybe it might not be. But it's just all about, what I'm saying, it's all about communication. Communication makes a family stronger because you're willing to communicate your differences, understand each other, no matter how different your ideas, your thoughts is. Eventually, you have to accept, you have to compromise your differences. That means maybe you can agree with us. I can do that. We can do this together this day, and then we could do the other thing together the other day, another day. So, I mean, it's like compromising, and that's not easy either, especially when you're coming from, two different ideas, two different thinking ways. What kind of person is that person? Is he an angry person, or is she an angry person? Is she a loving person? So it varies. It depends on the people because everybody is different, like I said, but it's how you approach it. But women, like I said, we want to be loved. We want that affection. We want to know that we're somebody to them, important. But to men, they want to be respected. They want love too, but just not in the same way we do. But it's amazing when a man is willing to put his effort forth in showing and putting his love into action. It's amazing how much a woman is willing to respect a man to the full. I mean, it's complicated because, like I said, not all women are the same either. And like I said earlier, sometimes the way that some of these women are, it makes me ashamed to be a woman sometimes. Because I have seen some women do some horrible things, and it just, I frowned upon it. I really frowned upon it. It it disgusted me. And I don't blame a man for feeling the way he does about women when a lot of them may be that way, but not all of them are that way. You know what I'm saying? And the same thing with women, they feel the same thing about the man. They feel like, all you want me for is, sex. You don't love me. You're not showing. Sometimes the man does just want a woman for that. They don't want them for love. Sometimes men don't know how to love. And it depends on what kind of person you're really looking for. And relationships are never easy because you're getting two imperfect human beings together, and you don't know, you know, sometimes how to approach it. But this is where communication is always key. But it's how you communicate, though. You can't sit there yelling and screaming and cursing at each other. You got to really sit down, talk calmly, respectfully, with good words, not with bad words, not with yelling either, but more of a mellow talk, relaxed, and then really, communicate to try to understand each other more effectively. And it's amazing how it does make a relationship much stronger because you're starting to really realize where maybe I can do better in this area. Maybe the other person can admit they can do better in another area. It's like working on yourself and trying to fight through those differences that sometimes collides each other, in a relationship. Sometimes it's difficult. Difficult. But that's how you keep someone. And that's how someone wants to keep you. Love and respect. A woman wants to be loved and shown love and put it into action. And when they see that, it's amazing how much a woman is going to respect you and put the effort in respecting you as a man. Um, well, I just thought I would make this video because I guess I was talking to someone about this earlier, and I didn't understand anything that their mind was saying. But but with asking so many questions, I finally understood what they were trying to say to me. So, and I thought I would turn it into like a video. Um, I mean, if you guys have anything that you want to comment on um about what a woman wants, what a man wants, please, please leave it. Leave a comment. And then I'll definitely respond back, but a positive one. Nothing bad. Just write out, you know, um experiences that others can use. Because I know in my life, communication is definitely key. Always. Always. But in a calm, relaxed way, without cursing, yelling, and screaming. Um, but yeah, just leave a comment and I'll definitely get back to you. And I hope you liked this video. And I hope it was informative in some sort of way. I hope it was informative in some sort of way to you. But just, yeah, just leave a message in the comment areas, and I will definitely answer it back. And we can see how everybody feels about this topic. What does a woman really want, and what does a man really want? Especially in a relationship. Not just a relationship, maybe a marriage. So, thank you. Thank you for stopping by. And until next time, adios, adios, adios. Bye, guys.